Hey guys, Agent of Insomnia back again. The tongue-in-cheek, mind you, world's worst SJW. And although I'm filming this for bed, I love being real with you guys. I actually was going to start this video, but then I saw that some pillow was sticking out of the end of the pillowcase here. And I was like, this cannot stand. I must set up the shot, and I actually tucked it in. And why do I care? Why? If I'm shooting from bed, right? So, once again, I've been tripped up in my ability to be creative, because people just love to flood my mind with their comments with, like, offshoots of ideas from previous videos and whatnot, and, while I'd love to be making YouTube Fame Crazy Part 4 right now, because I'm being flooded with the content for it, I did a video about Bearing's channel termination, and partly because people just love to misunderstand you, and partly because I didn't explain myself good enough. I'll say that the blame lies on both sides there. People have assumed that I am entirely against the use of VPNs, and that they should be banned and should be illegal, and blah, 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 you know, and I am the Empire and they are the rebel forces, you know, and that's just, you know, again, a simplification of what they're saying, but this is a YouTube video. I've got a couple minutes that I'm going to post onto the internet, not hours of in-depth dialogue and research, and, you know, if I was going to be doing a school report or a scientific study that was, you know, a bajillion pages long, I wouldn't be simplifying myself like this. I promise you. But in my video, I very quickly went over the justification of why some countries don't like VPNs, because, of course, if you don't want people to see what you're doing, then you must be doing something wrong, right? It's not like I always believe that that is the case, right? And so people very justifiably were saying, well, you know, what if I want to protect myself from hackers by using a VPN? Or what if I want to be more secure and I have legal things that I want to do? Fine, you know. This is very much to me like when people simplify the problem of cannabis use. And they say, well, you know, who wants a whole workforce that's nothing but lazy fucks, right? I understand, even as an addiction counselor, that there are actually studies about productivity and cannabis use that would run contrary to people's stereotype of what a pot smoker looks like, right? I understand this. But I also understand that this stereotype is so pervasive in the minds of everyone that it might as well be true. You know, even if the facts don't back it up, people will probably vote for, you know, the ability for companies to screen employees based on pot use, you know, to stand, even though pot will be legal. You know, it's legal here in Colorado, but, you know, employers are allowed to discriminate against you for doing this legal thing. You know, just like they can send you home for being drunk. But people are going to, you know, want to make the argument, some people will want to make the argument that they should be able to have a job and smoke pot. You know? Same thing with VPNs, you know? You might have a legitimate use for them. You might think that you are doing good for the world by using it. You might think that it would be great for the rest of the world to have access to them, right? But that's not going to change the opinions of other people. And it's not going to change the associations that they want with their brand and VPNs, just like pot. But yeah, every analogy breaks down if you take it far enough. It just breaks down into nothingness and ramble. Remember that. Okay, so as far as Google versus VPN ads, okay, this is something that Google has had restricted in their ad policies for a very long time, okay, and people are like, oh, they're legal. They're legal in the U.S., right? They're semi-legal in a lot of Western countries, and they are absolutely illegal in at least 5 countries, the largest of which, and the most important being, China. You know, when Trump says, China, China. Okay, China. Okay. Google would really love to do business in China. In fact, Google would have loved to have been able to hit China with their own Google Plus social network before China created their own to rival Facebook use. The only way that you can use Facebook in China is to use a VPN, by the way. But Google would have loved to have implemented policies on Google Plus in order to be able to be used in China. You can see the amount of concessions that Google has towards China as far as censoring what's on Google listings in all of the censorship requests that they get from China versus any other country. You know, the U.S. notwithstanding, because the U.S. has a very large number of them. But actually, the actual number of state secrets that China has claimed need to be censored off of Google listings is itself a China-claimed state secret. And so they're kind of exempted from Google's reports now on the issue. You can read more about that at chillingeffects.com. And at this point, some of you, I hope, are thinking, wow, Mike has really gone down this rabbit hole a little bit more than I have, and maybe my comment was a little premature. Maybe, but it's okay for us to talk things out. I'm not angry at any of you who have different opinions about VPNs. Keep talking, and maybe some good will come of it. Maybe we'll come up with a different unique way that maybe things should be done, and we can pass that on to the powers that be. Some of you act as though VPNs should be absolutely legal, and Google should not act like a corporation anymore that's worried about profits. They should act more like a public service, a public utility, right? As well as YouTube. And by the way, then you're going to make arguments that I'm the socialist SJW, social justice warrior, you know, when you're making arguments that a corporation should just give up all its holdings to the public and become a non-profit government entity, that you know, anything that's legal should be legal on that platform, you know, and they shouldn't discriminate. And I'm the socialist now. Okay. Gosh. There's a lot of cognitive dissonance that goes on in this discussion. Seriously. Yeah, where was I? I'm a socialist. No, I don't think that Google should be regulated as a public domain entity. But there are examples of what Google will not run ads for, okay? Things that they've already restricted both on YouTube ad policy and on AdWords ad policy, right? And if you are a YouTuber and you're looking at product sponsorship, you should not take on any of the products that Google says that they're not going to support ads for, to circumvent Google's ad policies. Okay? So I gave the 3 things that I saw Behring do, and people are like, oh, well, your reasoning is stupid. No, my reasoning is, it's on a list of Google restricted things from YouTube ads. Don't fucking do it if you want to be a YouTuber, right? We can go into each one of those scenarios and say, oh, well, this is unfortunate because we wish that this were to reflect U.S. law, and what was legal in the U.S. should be legal in ads and whatnot. Yeah, that's fine. We can wax philosophical about all of them. But my larger point in that video was, if Google has restricted it from their ads and YouTube ad run policies, then don't fucking put it in your video if you want to be a YouTuber and not be punished for it, right? Is terminating someone's channel a little bit harsh? Yeah, I think that just the videos should be taken down, the offending videos, and maybe some strikes and warnings, just like everything else that happens. You know, warn a motherfucker before you ruin his entire career he's built up. You know, career decisions are made on this shit. You know, and I feel for Behring in that respect. But there are things that maybe also are useful and legal, or not yet illegal, that you guys might be surprised are not allowed in Google ads. Such as, just in this month, starting June 2018, so that's like effective next month. So you've got a couple of days to pull down your video if your video violates this policy. If you're talking about cryptocurrency, especially an initial coin offering, or you're talking about a website where you give advice about how to buy cryptocurrency, or you're promoting a cryptocurrency wallet, or binary property, you know, intellectual property, such as like digital cats or CSGO Lotto skins. If you're talking about any of that stuff in your video and you're promoting it as an ad, you can have your channel fucking terminated, just like Behring, right? That's one of the new changes that's coming down the road. And I don't have to fucking make a magical fucking prediction about this. There's a whole fucking blog about it, about fucking YouTube's ad policy and Google's ad policy for AdWords, okay? And it fucking clearly states everything that is banned from you fucking doing sponsored content with it. Okay? So, is it wrong, each individual thing? You know, a lot of this would be up to your subjective personal interpretation of what is good and evil, you know? And I could have very, very long arguments about each and every fucking thing, and whether or not I agree with whether it should be considered a moral wrong, or a advertising no-no, or whatnot. But I'm a YouTube creator that loves to create, right? Not to be bogged down by people from an ideological niche here that really speak this strange language to me. You know, I want people to, like, experience maybe a road trip. You know, maybe just get out there and join a running club. Maybe, I don't know, play bridge with people and just interact in person. Because, holy shit, I got some, what they would call themselves, if they were to use a word, they'd say spurgs. I don't like the term because, you know, I don't like pejoratives based on actual diagnoses, but I had some people spurging out to me, right? And I just felt like clarifying my stance on VPNs a little bit. Here we go. First of all, I have been given to use Expat Shield just in order to circumvent basically trying to get to the BBC website to see content as if I were a British citizen. Because why pay for a cable package for my house to get BBC America, which is late on replaying Doctor Who anyway, when I can just pretend like I'm a British citizen and watch an episode of Doctor Who right off of the BBC's website, not have to download it illegally, and still maybe watch an ad or two, which maybe gives them some ad revenue. You know? So that's something that I've been using a sort of VPN for, just changing my IP address. And some of you might say, "Oh, well, you did something wrong, and you're harping on Bering for using VPNs, and you're saying that all his VPN users are wrong." No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if it's in the list of restricted things for having advertisements on YouTube, then don't fucking promote those things. Don't get a sponsorship for those things, right? I'm not saying that those things absolutely couldn't be used for anything good. Cryptocurrencies, the latest thing that Google is fucking clamping down on the promotion of, you can use them to buy pizza. There's nothing wrong with buying a pizza with fucking Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever new fucking coin there is, as long as somebody accepts the fucking money, right? If you're buying a pizza, I love pizza. You love pizza, right? So I'm saying there are legitimate uses for fucking cryptocurrency, right? But Google has decided that, probably because there's a lot of fraud going on, you know, people losing their shit right now, they're just going to blanketly remove advertising for cryptocurrency because, well, con artists will move into new territory very quickly before, you know, guidelines are established. And that's why I think it's okay for Google to go beyond what is just legal and actually think about what would be good for their business practices, what is good moral standing in the situation, what is don't be evil, their whole motto. I think that it's okay for them to go beyond what is just legal and actually regulate their platform better for them than the law alone would. Okay? They're not a fucking public entity, and they have that flexibility to be able to react to new technologies and new frontiers of people getting their fucking money conned away from them. They have the ability to just make these snap decisions quicker, way quicker than any country can, because countries are bogged down by the process of creating laws, you know, and especially in America right now, that process is kind of fucking gridlocked. I mean, just look how long it took them to make the fucking Digital Millennium Copyright Act after the internet had exploded, you know. It took a real fucking long time for them to fucking react and make that. And already there are provisions in it that are way fucking outdated because people themselves, technologies themselves, can react to the laws a lot quicker than the laws can react to the technologies. Because there's some crafty fucking motherfuckers out there. And they need to be able to stay on top of shit. So I am okay with Google taking their own fucking platform, their own fucking property, that is Google and YouTube, and fucking regulating it better than the law can, in order, especially in order to promote their business, preserve their business, and in order to fucking deal with people being ripped off all the fucking time. You know? It's about having a good user experience, not being ripped the fuck off. Alright, so hopefully the fact that I went 20 minutes into this, I might have explained some of my own feelings on this, because you post a fucking short video on this fucking channel, on this fucking platform, on whatever, and people just fucking assume the worst. They will assume that you are their devil. I'm not your devil, man. You know, I'm here having a fucking conversation. 3,000 fucking videos later, you know, and I still get haters that just want to hate. You know, just completely seeing one video of mine and then just like, rawr, you're the fucking devil. Alright, man. World's Worst SJW, signing out.